You can't praise Ayesha Curry's tweet and still like Amber Rose's pictures. Like you can't. You're in
the field with Trackstarz.
This is a Trackstarz
exclusive. Yeah.
All right, you're in the field with the Trackstarz. Ryan Righteous, SEANTANA, DJ Jeremiah. Jeremiah confusing everybody.
A little bit of a delay there.
Okay. This is a Trackstar exclusive. All right, so today,
we're exclusive.
This episode is brought to you by audible.com. Go to audibletrial.com/Trackstarz with a Z, and you get a free book on us. So go ahead and take advantage of that as soon as you can. I'm still reading the Hard Thing About Hard Things, which is an awesome book if you want to learn how to deal with issues as an entrepreneur. So go check it out. audibletrial.com/Trackstarz.
Also sponsored by Wrath and Grace Clothing. Check out www.wrathandgraceclothing.com in time to get the men's apparel, the women's apparel, good for the holidays. Also know that they can do screen printing for you. So if you're an artist out there, you're looking for a bulk press up, definitely check them out. I'm rocking one of the hoodies, the new joints today. And we definitely want to encourage everybody out there to go support the homie Jay. What they're doing over at wrathandgraceclothing.com is amazing. They are really trying to spread the gospel through the clothing. I mean, it's really, really important that you support that. Also, when you're looking for Trackstarz, make sure you go to www.trackstarz.com with a Z. Make sure that you're following us on Twitter at Trackstarz, Instagram at Trackstarz. We got the Independent Artist Spotlight. We got Noteworthies, Dissect Topics, all those different things you can find on our YouTube channel. Make sure that each and every Monday you're going to iTunes, downloading the podcast, and making sure that you leave a comment for us. That really, really helps. And then also, speaking of the Independent Artist Spotlight, we've got 5 finalists that are going to be eligible for the $2,000 package, value package that we're giving away. And those finalists are Monologue, K. Dre, A. Brody, J. Dub, and Rojaz. So next week when we come back, we'll be announcing who's getting the opportunity to get the value of $2,000 of Trackstar services from the gang. All right,
big news. We also got 2 new sponsors. One is Warby Parker. If you like the glasses that I wear during the show, these are Warby Parker glasses. You can get a Warby Parker discount from us at warbyparkertrial.com/Trackstarz with a Z. Also, new sponsor, Gamefly. Gamefly, if you want to rent video games, and if you like them, you keep them. If you don't, you send them back. Gamefly offer.com/Trackstarz. You get a free 30-day trial from us.
That's cool.
Yeah. So gameflyoffer.com. I knew the Bucket Boys would like it. Gameflyoffer.com/Trackstarz. Get your game life up on us. All right. Everybody good? You good?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. So another big news. Next week is going to be our last show for a while. Yeah, so no Periscope, nothing from us. So what we're going to be doing, this is fresh news. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be coming back in 2016 stronger than ever.
All right.
We're going to be relaunching in 2016 with some awesome stuff.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. You'll still see articles. Keep checking in on trackstarz.com. Keep checking the YouTube. Check everything. You'll still see stuff from us. But after next week, we're going to go dark. So next week, you got to join us to see our last show of 2015. Okay?
Now explain what dark actually means, because do we still want them sending in music submissions?
Yeah,
we still want them to go to the website and do all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, everything is exactly the same. It's just that when we come back, we're going to launch with new branding. We're going to have some awesome new stuff that we have in the works that we're working on right now. New guests, all that kind of stuff. So keep praying for us because we got big things coming on the way. And so next week, last show. So tell your friends, tune into the Trackstarz. We're going to make it special as we go out for 2015. All right. So this is what we're going to talk about today. All right. So Ayesha Curry, Steph Curry's wife. She's actually popular in her own right. She has a cooking blog that she does. Some of you remember when she did the what was it? She did a Drake song over, but she switched up the words for her husband.
I can't remember.
Remember when Drake? What is that?
I can't remember.
Barry, nice of you to show up, Barry.
When Drake was like Chef Curry with the shot or Chef Curry whatever, she used that to do something, but it was very popular. So anyway, she has a little following on her own right. She said on Twitter, somebody help me with this. She said something to the effect of, "Save your good parts for your husband. Cover up, stay classy."
No, she
classy over trendy. It's about the same.
No, it's not.
It's about the same. Watch. This is gonna be exactly the same. All right, where is it? This is not her.
She was basically saying that for her, she read something where she was talking about.
Oh, here it goes.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone's into barely wearing clothes these days, huh? Not my style. I like to keep the good stuff covered up for the one who matters. How's that different than what I just said?
I mean, she was talking about for her. She wasn't sounding like
That's what I'm saying.
everybody else.
Yeah.
It's not like you were talking about she getting at y'all like, y'all need to cover up.
All right. So she says she's covering up the good parts for the one who matters. She's class over trends. So she got a lot of backlash because of that. How do we feel about the backlash? Have you seen some of it? Where girls were saying, you know, stop. Can I say this word?
Slut shaming?
Yeah. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter what a woman has on. She should be treated the same way regardless. It's her body. She could do whatever she wants.
But a personal preference is a personal preference. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you have a personal preference to they did that to me, man. They come on Michael. All right, if you have a personal preference yourself, you can't knock somebody for their personal preference. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, so here's a problem. It's been a trend towards women, and this is understandable. There's a feminist movement saying basically, we women should be able to do whatever we want. Men are objectifying us and such and such. So the reaction to her statement was kind of like, why are you have like this old school mentality? Why do we have to do this or that just to be accepted and all that kind of stuff? What do y'all think? What do y'all think about that?
She wasn't saying anything about how anybody else should dress. She was saying what her preference is. So I don't see how that's slut shaming. I totally agree. Every woman has the right to dress how they want to dress, do what they want to do. But how does what she say go against that?
Wasn't necessarily, was everybody responding directly to her or all the love she got from it? So some guys were like, that's what's up.
We gonna get to that. That's the second half of this.
That's what's up, Miss Curry.
But just the
Maybe
first
they
half.
responded to
So
that.
for instance,
Probably.
somebody said, sounds as if Ayesha Curry thinks her body and other women's bodies are like consumer goods marketed exclusively for use by men or something. What do we think about that?
Why don't we
Yeah.
just let's keep it real.
All right, keep it 100.
Some of the ladies, they're thinking like, some of the ladies out there, they think feminism is, I could do what I want with my body. It's my body. I have that. I'm liberated. That's my right. So if I want to dress naked, he should respect me as much if I'm nude too. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like, I think somebody was just saying on that borderline. But I mean, I just think that's what it is. So when a woman comes out and say, "Nah, that's not what I'm about. I want to be covered. I want to be more classier." Well, and another woman's here who is showing everything is like, "No, I'm classy too. I just show everything." You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're feeling like it shouldn't. It don't matter about your clothes. It matter about who you are. I believe that's what is
I think
coming
they're
from.
two different topics. Like one topic where people feel like they shouldn't be associated, how they treat it shouldn't be associated with how they dress. That's a whole nother topic. I have a whole nother opinion on that. But the other thing is what she says does not correspond to that. It doesn't. Like literally her opinion is her opinion. She wasn't telling anybody else how to dress.
Yeah, she wasn't.
Yeah, but maybe her influence, right? Like, so when she says this, everybody was like, yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? There's so many girls out there, you know what I mean? All they want to do is show everything and they're showing everything to everybody. You know, I'm so happy there's still somebody out there who's going to cover it up, right? And so, you know, that's the kind of response she got, right? And then all of a sudden, there's all these other girls, you know, who definitely want to show everything, you know, and they come out and they're upset at maybe that. I don't know if they got upset at what she said, but maybe because of her influence, maybe they got upset. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm thinking it's a girl right now who probably said the exact same thing that she did, and nobody said anything about her because she doesn't matter. I think it's because this girl, not this wife, a woman is somebody's wife. One, she's known, and when you say something like that, that makes you. It honestly really it don't bring shame, but it makes that other person who is showing everything like, oh wow, okay, so why do I gotta cover? I don't have to cover it up. It's almost like It's almost like when we we was at another radio station. We had a conversation and we start talking about dress codes, and they was like one lady was like, this is my body. I worked hard for this body. I need to show it. And we look at each other I don't know.
I know what you're talking about.
That sounds like conviction. Just flat out. That sounds like conviction, and only the Holy Spirit convicts. Ayesha ain't convict nobody. She talking about her preferences. What she say? If it hit you a certain way, it hit you a certain way for a reason.
But what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to give everyone an opportunity to do a self-check. You know what I mean? Like, be responsible for yourself, but also think about the responsibility you have to others. I was just recently talking about how I was going through my Facebook page and I saw that some single women that used to be in my life as far as like coworkers and things like that were putting out stuff about them being in bikinis and, for the summer and how it looks good now. And I had to go unfollow that person because it was a problem for me to have that come up on my page. My wife looks at my page, my daughter looks at my page. So it's like, to me, I feel like you have to be responsible for other people as well. And it goes both ways. It goes with guys and girls. Maybe that's something that single people need to understand, is that you're advertising, but you're also advertising to your married friends. You're advertising to your friends that might have some kind of complex about their bodies.
Yeah, but that's the problem.
I think that's what Miss Carol was doing.
Hold on. That's the problem. The problem is that they feel like, why should it matter what a guy's reaction to it is? This is my body. I can wear whatever I want.
Yeah, but with her influence, she was basically like, she put that out there, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's a ton of people who follow her. When she puts that out there, a ton of like women will think about that for a second. You feel what I'm saying? When she says, I prefer this, right? Even though it is her preference, it's gonna make you stop and think. And
but that's what they don't want to happen. They don't want people to have to rethink how they dress just because it affects how some man sees them. That's the point. Now here's the question. I was listening to another podcast called the Happy Hour podcast. It was two ladies. The two guys weren't there at that time, and I actually liked their conversation. One of the ladies said that I took it this way. I took it as, this is a woman who is married. That's what I want to be. I want to be married. They have a loving relationship. Everything I want, they have. Maybe this is just good advice.
Beyonce married too, though.
Maybe this is just good advice. Maybe this is just something. Hey, if this is what you want,
She look happy to me.
If this is what you want, then this is what you need. This is what you need to get there. So it's just interesting that some people are reacting to it as wisdom, and some people are reacting to it. This is what I hate. I hate when somebody says something, people start fact finding. There was one picture where there was Ayesha. She was all kind of naked. They're like, "Oh, is this classy?" So it's like, instead of taking the lesson, it's like, let me just find some dirt about you so I could ignore it.
Okay, for instance, like, if you're gonna say something like that, you got to make sure that when you go back in your past, right, that you don't have nothing that's showing stuff.
But
like
it doesn't
that,
mean
right?
you're perfect.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Nobody is
Mean that you're
perfect.
perfect, but at this point, you are giving that type of. You're saying that, you're putting that out there. I would rather do this, right? Would you rather have done this on this date? You know what I mean? For instance, like, if you have a picture, if you go back in somebody's history, you look and you say they do have a pictures where they're revealing stuff and they're showing, the goods, right? If they're showing off the goods, then you're contradicting yourself.
Yeah, I mean, my hope would be that more often than not, she is classy over trashy. That would be my hope if she's gonna put something out there like that.
But the thing is, they had to search for it though. They had to literally go and try to Google search.
Can you find
for
it?
something?
But they found it.
Can you find it?
But they found
But
it.
my thing, and even if I don't know if that's the same.
out there?
I don't know if that's the same photo that I saw. But it wasn't like she was. It was like a short dress, but it wasn't like she was. It still looked classy. It didn't look like hoochie. You know what I mean? So
To me, I feel like people have to watch what they say and what they repost and share. You know what I mean? Like, I see a lot of people reposting inappropriate things, and I'm asking myself, like, why would you repost that? Like, what kind of a response are you looking to get for that?
Hold on. That leads me to my next point. This is the other podcast I was listening to. The second thing they brought up was the reason it makes a lot of women mad is because a lot of dudes jumped on the comment and said, yes, that's exactly what we want. Why y'all girls dressing this and this? But those are the same dudes that'll go liking all kinds of naked women's pictures. Are the guys really the entire problem in this whole situation? Don't women do what they do a lot to impress the guys that they want? And are the guys being confusing?
yeah, I think the thing is this, man. Like, sometimes I read a comment. Somebody said you can't you can't praise Ayesha Curry's tweet and still like Amber Rose's pictures. Like you can't. It's a contra.
I'm saying as a person, you can.
Oh my.
Whatever, you can, right?
But
Because that's two different things.
But that's a two-faced thing. Is like either you really want somebody who's modest, or do you really want somebody who's not modest?
Here's the question: as a guy, do you want to see the good? The answer to that generally is yes. So I'm just saying, right? But do you want to marry the girl who's showing the goods? The answer to that is no, right? So do I like the picture that's showing the goods? Click yes, right? But am I also excited that somebody's not going to show the goods and maybe I want to get to know them a little bit more? Yes. So it's confusing, okay, but it's true.
I appreciate that.
No, but I think what some women are saying is like it's one or the other. You know what I'm saying?
It's not.
It is.
It's really not. It's probably the difference, but it really is the difference between a thought and a wife. That's the difference.
Well,
What's the thought, babe?
You mean thoughts?
Here's hold on. Here's the problem real quick. Here's the problem. It is confusing, and this is why. When I heard them say that, the real issue is there's not enough guys that are worth marrying. Where you're putting all your worth in this guy being impressed with you, but maybe that guy is not impressive himself.
Yeah.
So why do you care if some dude is willing to click on the naked girl's picture if they like you or not? That's not a good guy for you. The problem is there's not enough good examples of good guys, so women feel like they have to settle for these dudes that are two-faced. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We have so many bad examples of men that women have settled for that being a reality, that you have to be naked, then you have to stop being naked at the exact right time so you could get married, and then you can move on with your life.
Now you know what the women are saying right now. Well, we're the good guys. So please answer that question for them, please.
I mean,
We don't
honestly,
know.
the truth is that,
They're like Bigfoot.
but no, seriously,
Urban legend.
here's the issue. I could lie to you and say you just have to look harder, you have to pray harder, but the truth is there's not a lot of good guys.
That's not true.
There is not a lot of good guys. There's not a lot of guys that are currently good. There may be guys who will be good. There may be guys who have been good, but there are currently not a lot of dudes that are good. That's the issue we have in our culture, and that's the issue we all have to fix. You see what I'm saying? Nobody can hear you.
There are good guys, and there are single good guys, right? They're just not like maybe all the way around. Maybe you just can't see them all the time, but there are a lot of them out there.
There are a lot, but there are not nearly as many as the bad ones. That's what I mean. There's not that many. There are a lot of guys that live their life two-faced it. They act certain way around women and they act certain way around their dudes. There's not a lot of genuine all the time 24/7 Christian men. We need to fix that because these women are getting confused by the two-faced.
I think the real question is, do Christian men really want modesty? See, you heard it earlier. So, but I mean, that's the real question. Honestly, like men that you see at your church,
Yeah.
that you go to, and as we bring this to close, like to the church part, like, do men of God want modesty?
I'm not including them in the good guy conversation.
Okay.
A Christian guy going to church that doesn't appreciate modesty and clicks on all these pictures, I am lumping them in with the bad guys. There's no difference. Do you see what I'm saying?
If you want to see what that looks like, you just got to go to Women Crush Wednesday because you see saved people like putting up stuff like
Oh, that's what WCW means.
Yeah.
It used to be World Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
yeah,
Ah.
and MCM means Men Crush Men Monday, whatever.
Okay. Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Now we're endorsing.
But what I'm saying is, I've noticed a lot of my church friends participating in that, and I'm like,
Some people have women crushes for a different thing, right? Like some people, like some women put up women's pictures because they crush on them because they like their personality and stuff like that. Like,
stop talking.
yeah, men do that too, but I mean, women do it too. But
Stop talking.
anyway, but my whole thing is this: like, I feel like there are good Christian guys out there. Like I'm looking at 3 of them right now. Like there are 3 good Christian men in the room right now. You feel what I'm saying?
You talking about these
And
3 back here?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
4. That's
Because the
4.
3 of these
Get
are
him in
married.
trouble now. Yeah,
married.
those
He married,
2
right?
and that one.
Yeah, so there's 3 good single guys right here in the room right now, right? And so like, and they don't click on those. Well,
It's funny. Trey was like, wrap it up when you say it.
No, but what I'm saying is that Jemai, Trey, and Andrew are rare guys. That is that is impossible to ignore. It is impossible to ignore the fact that there is a issue in our community where guys default to being like that. There's too many. We're producing too many of those dudes. So we have to fix that problem in order for women to understand that this is not some old school mentality or old this and old that. The man you marry should have this mentality already. You should not have to adjust yourself to his whims. The guy you should be marrying should not feel this way about you. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to get across.
I think it's confusing, honestly. I think because men raised in the church, men that are saved and sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. We talked about this not too long ago. For so long, the sex and anything attached to sex has been made bad by the church. So when you get married, you have to readjust. So you go in with the mindset of not necessarily really knowing what feels appropriate, what's right in your own marriage sometimes. I mean, it's really hard when you're a good man and you're trying to play down the stereotypes that you've heard about this great thing that God created.
Yeah, but again, that doesn't go into what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a guy who is living right and waiting for marriage. I'm talking about guys who are not living right and click on all these naked pictures and then are the same ones that say, yeah, that's right, Ayesha, that's what we want. They are confusing. Those guys are confusing. That we need to stop that. As a Christian man, if you're a Christian man, you need to stop doing that. It's confusing.
This ain't a guy problem. I'm sorry. I just want to speak for all guys, right? Like, not all of them, just the ones who are like me, right? But
like the ones he's talking about. I'm joking.
Whatever. This ain't a guy problem. I'm not clicking on those pictures, by the way, baby. Anyway, so, but here's the thing, right? So, like, I feel like women, just for yourselves, you need to make your own decision. There needs to be some conviction that you have that are not male driven. There needs to be some conviction. Your relationship with Christ should be, well, you, first of all, if you don't have one, you should get one, right? Yeah. And when you do get one, that relationship with Christ should determine how you present yourself to men, whether they're great men or whether they're rare or whether they're not rare. He's going to like guide you on that track. But men don't determine what you as a woman post, right? At that moment, it's between you, your camera, and the world, right? Are you gonna make that decision to post that nasty picture, or are you not gonna post the nasty picture? Now, when you put it out there, right, when it gets out there, whether it gets liked or not liked, that's up to the public. But before you do that, it's up to you and your convictions to make that choice. That's not a man problem.
That's exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that is what I'm saying. It's the reason that they're doing that is because of men. Yeah. That should not be the reason why you do it, but the reason they are doing it currently is because of their reaction to men.
Because you really think
are you doubting that?
You think about
You don't
Instagram.
think that women put up pictures because they're trying to impress another man?
Another man?
You don't think that women are putting up pictures because they're trying to impress another man?
They are doing that, but we are okay. This is happening too much now. I keep being given mics. All right. But I don't think that I don't, if they do, right? Even if they are posting those pictures because, they're going to get likes or dislikes from men, right? Okay. It's still up to you. It's not a man problem. It's not up to the men to determine what you post and not post.
You're talking about should and current. Currently, that's what it is. I agree that they shouldn't care about that, but they do. The reason they do is because of the reaction they get from men. Am I wrong? Am I wrong about that?
Wait. We got people cussing on Periscope and
that's fine. Let them cuss. Do you understand that? The reason it's happening now, y'all need to chill. The reason it's happening now is because they are reacting to what men like. What they should be doing is not reacting to what men like. That's agreed. But it's happening now because people want a man, and that's how they're reacting. They want to do whatever it takes to get the attention.
But what you are doing, right, even in your initial thing, was to take the blame, right? It seems like you were taking blame off the women, putting that blame on the men for being confusing.
The men have a responsibility for what they do. You can't have that responsibility. You can't just look at a woman and say, yes, you do.
In this culture, in this world, the way God designed it.
You cannot look at a woman and say, oh, you're naked, this is all your fault, without looking at yourself and saying, I need to stop clicking on your naked pictures.
I am not clicking on the pictures.
Not you, men.
But even still, right, it's not just up to all the men to make that decision. If women stop posting those pictures, then we won't have that choice.
You're exactly what they're talking about.
I am not who they're talking about.
It should not matter if a... Okay.
Go ahead.
If a woman is currently posting a picture because they're trying to impress a man, that is wrong for them to do. But a man cannot just stare at them and say, you're wrong, while they're clicking a picture. That's wrong for them.
Listen. Okay. Okay. Yep. You want to say
Come on,
something?
CR.
Come on, CR. Say something.
No, I wanted to
I don't
talk
think
about,
that's
'cause
right.
I don't think Ayesha was just talking about social media. So I just wanted to bring up, have y'all talk about like just in person, because I was talking to Rashad. I was talking to Rashad yesterday, and we were talking about women who work at Hooters and Twin Peaks and places like that. Like, that's their job, but do we say that they're immodest too, or like what? And I told him, well, I respect my body, so I wouldn't work there. But I don't know, those women, they might respect their bodies too. So
right. And what I'm saying it's your responsibility. Why are y'all reading that? I'm gonna take it down. It's your responsibility to watch your own body. Yes, that's what I would tell a woman.
Your responsibility to watch your body. At the same
time, it is ridiculous for a man to say that to a woman while they're doing the thing that makes them want to do it in the first place.
Still, it's not our responsibility.
I don't understand.
I don't understand either.
It is your responsibility to stop clicking on naked pictures.
I don't click on naked pictures.
I'm talking about men.
Even all men, it's not their responsibility.
Have responsibility and women? Can we say that?
How can we get there? And what part of the responsibility is on the men, and then what part of the responsibility is on the women? Because every woman for themselves have that choice.
Yeah.
It's their choice
That's
to
the
make that choice.
responsibility of the women. And then the responsibility of the men is what Shantana talking about.
What's the responsibility of the men?
Stop clicking on the pictures. It's confusing.
To have integrity.
What is so hard about that?
If you agree with Ayesha, then don't click on the picture. If you don't agree
I'm not
with
saying
Ayesha,
to click on the pictures. I'm not advocating that people do click on the pictures. What I'm saying is this: it's still not up to the men to decide what women post.
It's not, but it is up to them
It's
to
not
decide
our influence on that.
what they do and don't click on. That's what it's up to the men to do, and for their words to align with their actions.
I'm telling you that a man who clicks on those pictures and then commends Ayesha is confusing to young women trying to figure out what their life should be like. It is confusing.
You don't think that's contradictory?
I do think that's contradictory, but it's still true.
Yeah, but that doesn't
And
make
I
it right.
explained this earlier. It's still a true thing.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it right. So
I didn't say it was right. I just said it was true.
So if we're trying to fix the problem, then that's
just
one
said it
way
was
we
true.
can fix it. You get what I mean? That's one way we fix.
I think you fix the problem at the source. The source is the woman. You fix the problem at that source. The source is the women.
That is so mean what you're saying. To put the entire weight of this issue on women is completely mean. It's 100% mean. But anyway, what y'all think? You in the field with the track stars, Ryan Righteous, Shantana, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
rappinggreats.com. Our mission here is to spread the gospel with our clothing and way of life.
What's the gospel?
Jesus Christ is God in the flesh.
Who came to save sinners. Died on a cross.